Hi everyone, welcome back to Political Playtime with John.
Yo.
And my name is Lou. We've been away for a little while. We've had a lot of other things going on that needed our attention. But today we can talk a little bit about the recent debate we just had, the fourth, right?
Yeah, the clown show. That was totally amazing.
I tell you one thing, you know what? Ramaswamy to me was the most irritating man in the world. After watching that one, he's got to be the most irritating man in the universe. Holy hell, that guy, man.
Bad.
That guy is just...
No, Christie got him good.
He's just a terrible human being, period. He's a scammer. There's nothing but a scammer. How he has, what is he, at 2% or 3%? Who are these people?
Is this the best the Republicans can do?
But who are these people that support this guy? I mean, yeah. So what did Chris Christie say? That you're the most obnoxious something.
Yeah, something like that.
And he also said that you go out on the stump and you say things. They're on video, and then when you're called out on them, you say you never said them.
Just like Trump.
Just like Trump. And you know who else said that too? And the interview was Hannity. When Hannity interviewed him, said to him, "You say things in public. They're on video. You have quotes in your book. When you're called out on them, you deny saying them."
Well, Hannity's a Trumper anyway, so.
But he called him out.
Oh, he called him out, yeah, which doesn't really happen.
So, hey, any Ramaswamy supporters, think about that. This guy says shit in an interview. He can be then on another network called out on what he just said on that network, and he'll say he never said it when you clearly saw him and heard him saying it.
Well, it wasn't,
This guy's, again, insulting Haley again.
Well, that was the whole thing about that debate, was about insulting everybody.
That's all he does.
And look at the questions they asked these people.
They're throwing you softballs.
I mean, it was a joke. Nothing of any substance.
This guy is just absolutely awful.
This whole debate was about them going after each other, not about policy, not about anything that's going on in the world.
Because that's where we've arrived.
And they're running against Trump.
We're there. Trump, remember Trump? Oh, you're very nasty. You're very and people love that. Should somebody go kick that guy, beat that guy up? I'll pay your legal fees. And people like that. They think that's what your leader should be. That's tough.
But what was it on News Nation?
Yeah,
I think it was News Nation, another shit station. But the questions they were asking these people, I mean, it's these broads have no fucking clue.
You know what I agree with Chris Christie is, if you're going to run for president, run against the front runner.
Exactly.
These guys are not running against Trump. They're just trying to run against each other.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're at 2%. If you take out one of them, you might be at 3.
Right. Well,
that gets you right there.
You've got Trump at what, 50% or something like that?
So if you gain 1% from where you are, now you're there. Yeah. You're right there now with 3 or 4%.
Well, you look at it, Christie's the only one that's actually running against Trump.
Exactly. Which really, when you're in a competition, don't you want to come out on top?
Yeah, you want to go against the front runner.
If I can come in second place, I mean, usually you work to come in first.
Yeah.
Put all your effort into it.
But you got, and Nikki with that stupid smile on her face.
Yeah, but I said this before and I'm going to say it again. If Nikki Haley was the Republican nominee and
she'd be Trump.
She's going to be the next president of the United States. She'll be the next president of the United States.
She'll beat Biden.
Not that I care for her, but even the polls are showing it. Yeah. She'll beat Biden. Because there are many people who just don't want Trump. Give them another option, a different option.
They'll take it.
And they'll take it. A lot of Democrats don't want Biden.
And they're right not wanting him because he's done.
The polls have shown a lot of Democrats want someone else. And if you think Kamala Harris is the right one, that's a joke. That's a joke.
If Biden somehow ends up not running and Kamala gets a nomination, which she will, because that's
be Kamala and Haley.
Kamala or whatever the fuck it is.
Who gives a shit what her name is?
Yeah.
Kamala and Haley.
I've always called her the bitch, so I mean, who cares? But imagine what's going to happen there. She's going to get her ass kicked. No matter who the Republican is, she's going to get her ass kicked.
Oh, I don't know. The Democrats, a lot of them will come out in force, though.
Well, there's always that
because you
group
got to
that
remember,
love
this is how things work. Not being qualified for something, that's not important.
No.
Are you a person of color? Then you automatically are more qualified than anybody else. Even if you're unqualified.
Exactly.
If you're gay with the woke and stuff, then you're more qualified with no experience
Look at what happened.
than someone who is qualified because you're gay.
Look at what happened with George Santos. Isn't the district
That's
majority
good you brought that one
Democrat?
up. You know what? I do congratulate the Republicans, over 100 of them.
Yeah, they finally got their ass together, yeah. Their shit
I
together.
congratulate those. I don't congratulate the Democrats because obviously the Democrats want him out to have a special election in hope of picking up a seat.
Right.
They have their own motive, right?
Right.
But the Republicans were, this person does not belong here.
But
and I applaud those.
you look at the difference between
I applaud those that did that.
what they did with Santos and what they did with, what's his name, the comedian,
Al Franken?
Al Franken. You compare the two.
Well, if Al Franken was a Republican then,
He would
for
not-
what he
nothing
did, the
would have
Republicans would not have gotten rid of him.
No.
They would have gotten rid of him.
They got rid of
But
Santos for stuff that
George
he had
Santos
actually
is
done.
over the top. I mean, that man does not deserve to be in the House of Representatives getting taxpayer dollar salary and benefits and everything with all the lies, stealing campaign money to go shopping for himself, all of that. Again, I'm going to say it again, I applaud those Republicans, over 100 of them.
Oh, didn't he
That voted for him to
Didn't he
be
buy a Carmen Miranda headset that?
Yeah.
But
He's,
wasn't he a majority Democratic district? Where he ran?
A swing district. I think Biden won the district.
And he got a lot of Democrats because he's
Because
gay.
I'm gay. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors. My mom survived 9/11.
Yeah, that's all bullshit.
All lies.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we know politicians lie. But George Santos, holy shit.
He had it down with science. I mean,
Plus-
he was even better than Trump.
Plus, took money.
Yeah.
Took money and went shopping with campaign money. And I mean, those Republicans that said, you know what, this can't be a representation of our party, he needs to go.
Yeah.
I applaud that.
They finally did something right.
I applaud
Finally.
that. They're smart.
Yeah.
Because you know what, I think a lot of these Republicans see too, we already got Marjorie Taylor. We already have,
Lauren Boebert.
Lauren. We already have nuts.
Yeah.
We have crazies.
Right.
It hurts them too when they run for election, when we start getting people, especially young people, that are like, wow, they're all nuts over there. Those Republicans are all crazy. No, they're not. But the ones that aren't can suffer too from these lunatics.
Of course.
Where people become anti-Republican.
But you look at Boebert and what's her name, the Neanderthal brain fart.
Marge.
Nobody in the Republican Party in Congress has done what George Santos has done so far. So yeah, okay, they got the crazies, but this guy was just way over.
Yeah, and you also have to see, is he worth it to us? No. Marjorie, good fundraiser.
Good fundraiser, yeah.
So we'll just keep our mouths shut and overlook stuff because she's a good fundraiser. Why anybody would go listen to her speak is beyond me.
But they do.
Is beyond me. Usually this is how it works. You want to go see, hear a lecture or something, someone who provides you knowledge, who's much smarter than you. You're in awe from their experience and their knowledge. With her, what is she bringing to the table?
Well, what is anybody?
Either one of them.
What
Either
is
one of them
anybody
bring to
in
the table.
Congress bringing to the table?
No, there are very intelligent people in Congress on both sides.
Oh, they're intelligent doesn't mean they know what they're
you
doing.
can sit and have a conversation with them, and you can be like, wow, this person has knowledge. Those two, knowledge of what? What the hell do they bring to the table?
Well, let's see. Lauren Boebert.
Stupidity, man.
She's a waitress, so
They
she
just
can
want to
do
be
that.
bulldogs. They don't need to have substance. They don't need to have knowledge. They just need to be anti.
Well, that's what the Republicans want. They just want the votes.
We had those dipshits here, the Ballard brothers in Florida. I remember one of them was being interviewed after a hurricane. Clinton was president.
Yeah.
So
One's
he was
still
being
there.
interviewed about the hurricane in Florida. He said, well, Clinton this, Clinton that. And the reporter, I remember saying, this interview is not about Bill Clinton. It's about the hurricane in your state.
What is it, one or two are in Congress?
They're a bunch of freaking idiots.
Or both? I don't
And the other
fucking
one,
know.
the broad too, I forgot her name.
Oh,
All they were bulldogs. That's all they were,
She was,
bulldogs.
I forgot her name. I'm going to brain fart. That's how important she was to me, because I forgot
I just
her
had
name.
it on the tip of my tongue. I forget.
I'll remember when I don't have to.
Forget her. But all those guys were about attacking. What did they have? What information did they provide you about direction of the country? None. It was just attacking. These people are worthless.
They are.
They're worthless. You know, I forgot who just recently said it, which made a great point, which I think, not just that politicians forget this, people who vote for them forget this. The politician is there to serve and is getting paid with your money. But it seems like when they go into office, you now are there to serve them, right? Like Trump, I'm the emperor. He wants to be the emperor, the king, where you serve the king.
Well, he wants to be a dictator.
Exactly. You serve the people and serve the country. And by the time, and there's too, Don, when your time is up, your term is up, you leave.
Just like everybody else.
You leave like everyone else has. But he doesn't want to do that. I just saw a poll on people that are willing to have a dictatorship. I think the Republicans were in the poll. I think it was close to 40% would like a dictatorship.
Oh, it's a big number. I mean, even on the left, there's also another good.
I think Democrats was like 29.
Yeah, overall,
Not that they wanted Trump.
Yeah,
just a dictator, a strong man.
Right. That goes with their beliefs.
Of course, with their beliefs. But you know what? A lot of people don't seem to remember is history, world history. There have been a lot of brutal and oppressive dictatorships, and a lot of people wanted it. I support this guy.
Oh.
And then later they change their minds. Guess what happens after that? Dictator's already in place, and you changed your mind.
Yeah,
Too bad for
done.
you now.
Well,
and by the way, keep your mouth shut, or else you're going to be screwed.
You go through a bunch of countries around the world where they still, especially the older people.
Oh, let me say this. Hitler was voted into office.
Yes.
And
he was appointed chancellor.
Many appointed chancellor and many attempts on his life.
Yeah.
Okay?
They all failed.
Oh, they all failed.
But you look around the world. Say you go to Russia.
He's still in.
Yeah, he's still in Argentina.
Argentina.
But you go to Russia. There's a lot of old people in Russia that want the Soviet Union back.
But that's
the dictatorship.
But they never knew anything.
They never do it. You go to Spain. Same thing. A lot of people still worship Franco.
Yeah, but those are the olders. They're dying out.
The older ones, yeah. Well, but still, there's people there. Portugal, they still with Salazar.
Cubans with Fidel.
Cubans with Fidel.
Because everybody thinks everybody in Cuba hates Fidel Castro. No, that's not true.
And Cubans with Batista before Fidel.
Yeah.
Who was even more brutal than Fidel.
It's not these dictators had no support. But I will say this. There was a huge percent that want the dictator before the dictator takes power. And then a dictator takes power and they start seeing things they don't like now.
Yeah.
Now it's too late. And now what you need to do is that dictator you loved, if you don't keep your mouth shut, you're screwed. So, watch what you ask for. Watch what you ask for.
A lot of people are happy with dictators. It's just
and a lot of them
they're
think
dictators.
They are.
Yeah, a lot of them think they are.
Think they are.
You know how many people in this country would love to have, like what is the Cubans used to have? I don't know if they still do. The neighborhood defense committee or whatever they used to call it, where there's somebody in the neighborhood that tells the government what the other people are doing.
Oh yeah, narcs.
Yeah, narcs.
They make
in this
everyone
country.
A narc. Children narking on their parents.
Look at the
neighbors narking on parents.
North Korea. North Korea.
That's a perfect
and
thing.
1984, the book by George Orwell.
They're all working for you.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
Everyone is in fear. People, adults, fearful that their kids will say something to a government official. Oh, Mom, my dad said, my dad's anti this, anti that.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, in this country, a lot of people would love to see that.
And then if you talk to a redneck, you'll go, yeah, goddamn right, that's communism. No, that happens in every dictatorship.
Pretty much.
Every dictatorship.
Different degree to different degrees.
Left wing, right wing, doesn't matter. Right. It's all done to stay in power. Because dictators, their main goal, I've said this before, when they wake up in the morning, their goal for that day is to stay in power.
Yep.
And gain more power.
Especially the ones where there are no elections, there's no make-believe that they're getting elected and all that.
Well, Donald Trump has talked about shutting down MSNBC.
Well, a few others too, but yeah.
Boy, that's not what dictators do. We're only going to have the state media that's going to praise me.
Like they have in a bunch of countries.
Man, once people that agree with that, there are plenty of other countries you can live under a regime like that. You can go to North Korea. You can go to many of these Islamic countries. Oh, by the way, let's throw something in about that, and people are going to go, oh, yeah, you're anti-Islamic. No, I'll say this. Muslims migrate to democracies.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
A lot
when
of
they
them
leave
do, yeah.
these countries, that a lot of them, there's no future for them, or whatever reason.
Right.
They'll migrate to a democracy. Because they know, you're a democracy. You have to respect my beliefs. You have to respect my beliefs and me and my religion. Guess what happens if in those democratic countries they ended up taking power? Everyone else's beliefs? Out the window. Well, they would have no rights anymore.
Part of the reason...
Because there are plenty of democratic Islamic countries.
Oh, yes. Oh, there are
a lot of them.
Yeah, they're all...
Let me run through the list.
Well, there are different levels in some of these, like Indonesia, the biggest Muslim country in the world. Totally different from what they practice in the Middle East. Even though it's still, I wouldn't want to live there.
And look at Saudi Arabia. A lot of people think Saudi Arabia is so free, so this...
It's not at all.
Speak against the prince, the government, and you'll be beheaded.
In public.
That's your freedom of speech.
I think they behead everybody like...
In Saudi Arabia. You'll be beheaded.
They do that every week. They have beheadings.
So...
Well, it's not just if you...
Great.
It's not just if you do shit against the government. It's, if you steal and kill and all that other crap.
It's great. Yeah, because it's fear.
Yeah, it's fear. There's...
But there are people in this country that want a dictator.
But
they want Donald Trump to be dictator.
As far as the Muslims going to democratic countries, the problem with these democratic countries are having issues with the radicalized Muslims is because they're letting them in, no vetting, no nothing.
How much time we have?
No, we got plenty of time. We got...
Okay. And you know what's happening? What's happening around the world? What's happening? Where does Trump stand out with so many people? On which subject?
Immigration. No war. Immigration. Oh, here, yeah, immigration. Yeah.
What did he say in the Hannity interview? He's going to be dictator day one.
Yeah.
At least starting day one.
He's going to have the Justice Department go after his enemies.
I'm going to close the border down, and we're going to drill. Like the government is drilling. It's corporations drilling, and they're going to drill. Absolutely, they'll drill more, depending on where oil prices are. If oil prices are low, they're not.
And we're great for these oil companies because they get oil leases on public land. They don't pay anything for these leases. They make all the profits.
Because the United States is the #1 producer of oil in the world.
Yeah.
Not the #1 exporter, because
no, #1 producer, yeah.
But #1 producer.
Yeah.
And when these guys talk about, we're going to drill, like we're not drilling for oil.
We don't need to.
We're not doing it. We're not drilling for oil. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
But American companies will cut back on drilling if prices are too low. It's not profitable enough.
No. Oh, don't forget, American companies, it costs more for oil to be pulled out of the ground in this country than it does in like Saudi Arabia and some of these other countries.
No, but the point I was going to make is, look in Europe. The radical right running on anti-immigration, and some even that aren't
on the left,
now saying, wait a minute, I need to be more anti-immigration too, or we're screwed.
Well, you look at Sweden, France, Italy. Ireland is having a problem with immigration because they're letting everybody in instead of vetting these people.
And if somebody hears this and say, oh, you're a racist, you're this, you're that. No, let me tell you reality. For anybody watching this who wants to say that, let me tell you reality. So you're in a European country, right? You've lived there, your whole family forever. All of a sudden, these immigrants come from these countries. They form communities. That community then, you put your life at risk to even walk in that community. You don't think that creates hatred? You don't think that creates hatred? I told this story about that man in Spain, that older gentleman. What, in his 80s?
Yeah.
That was robbed at knife point by 2 little boys, children from
Morocco.
From Morocco. You think that man now and his family and friends are all like, yeah, this is what happens when you let them in. Of course. When you hear if there's an illegal alien, 1 out of millions that rapes a woman,
It's everybody.
what do? They try to make it sound like all of them are doing that. And there's hatred. Of course there's hatred. When people hear, they lose their job. Let's say you're an electrician or something, lose their job. They blame immigrants. Well, these immigrants coming over here aren't going to do that job. They're doing the jobs the Americans don't want.
Yeah.
House cleaning, farming.
Menial labor is what it is.
That Americans, you couldn't get an American out of high school to go pick peaches.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? There's no money in that for me. I'm not going to sit out there in the heat and all that doing that.
Yeah, because they don't get paid
the
shit.
immigrants do.
Yeah.
Was it Georgia took a huge loss on peaches and stuff because they had lack of immigrants to pick fruit?
Well, they did that anti-immigrant law that they tried to pass or whatever, like, okay, states are not allowed to pass anti-immigrant laws because that's with the federal government, but that's the way it works.
Oh, we got to make something straight though. We are not. Oh yeah, you should let all the immigrants in. Oh hell no.
No.
Hell.
They need to be vetted.
No.
Well, look at, what was it, Schumer?
Hell no.
Schumer, I think it was Schumer, one of these guys in Congress, I think there's a bill about these illegals coming in that are military age, about instead of sending them back, putting them in the military and eventually giving them citizenship because the recruitment is low.
And I'm sure a lot of them would. A lot of them would say, oh, then I'll serve my new country.
You come out and you're a citizen.
And then I can be a citizen and I can learn a trade too or something in the military, and some may go career.
All right, so we're going to take off for a couple of minutes and we'll be back for a part 2. It'll be a separate video, but it'll be a part 2. So.
What do you got to hit the can?
Huh?
You got to hit the can?
No, I got to hit.
I told you those X-Lax are not dessert.
Actually, I got to pop another beer, and I don't want to hit. Anyway, all right, we'll be back in our second part. It'll be part 2, and we don't know what we're going to call it, but that's it. Okay.